Hello again. So this is my second presentation. I'm going to be talking to you about my vision for a company that I believe can contribute to a greener world. And that company is Greener World Energy Retailer. It's an energy retailer that would be dedicated to sustainability, efficiency, and more environmentally friendly energy distribution. So my vision of this company is that it's an energy retailer where we do everything in our power to be environmentally friendly. And unfortunately, in Alberta, that's easier said than done, since our economy is based so heavily on things like oil and natural gas. But the reason I think there's space for a green energy retailer is that here in Edmonton, actually, we're about to transition into a new type of energy grid and metering technology. Uh, right now, we have a very antiquated electricity distribution grid. It's a 20th century grid that's trying to support all the new 21st century technology that we have. And in the next couple of years, EPCOR is going to be upgrading to smart meters and a new smart grid. And I believe that in this transition, other conventional retailers with their archaic thinking are going to be slow to realize the possibilities of the smart grid. And that's where my vision comes in, seizing on early adopters of disruptive technology and using these people as a customer base to drive this new company forward. So the reason why I think this vision has potential not only to change the world, but also to actually make money is because people are increasingly thinking about sustainability and contributing to a more environmentally friendly Earth. And with current technology, 6% of electricity is simply just lost in transmission and distribution, and this contributes to pollution. While with the smart grid, it's going to be significantly less lost energy. And residential customers actually account for 39% of the energy used in most cities. And this new smart grid will result in better options for these customers, customers who want to go green. And as well, the new grid will have a lot of potential for cost savings for customers. But we'll cover this stuff in more detail with actual innovations. But the thrust of my business case is that I believe that a properly advertised green energy retailer would appeal to many customers, especially with the current state of affairs, like with global warming and fluctuating oil prices and so on. So my first innovative idea for my green energy retailer is embracing disruptive technology. What I mean by disruptive technology, especially in the case of Edmonton, is anything that flies in the face of big oil and natural gas. These kind of technologies could be considered disruptive in this case. Unfortunately, because right now there's no real motivation for customers to do so, you can drive around Edmonton and find it extremely difficult to spot things like solar panels or generators. And you definitely aren't seeing a lot of windmills around here. But with the smart grid and the ability to feed back into the system, there's soon going to be a reason to embrace such technologies. And so, in addition to simply selling electricity, my Greener World energy retailer will work with customers, making all the information about how to use these technologies available. And we would also work with sellers of such technology and create relationships between them and the customers so that there's actually an easy way for customers to do things like install solar panels. Right now, it's kind of difficult. And yeah, at the present time, like, not a lot of customers are going to have the money to invest in solar panels, but I think that customers who see things like solar panels and dream of eventually doing something like that are going to be happy to switch from retailers like Direct Energy and come over to Greener World. And so my second innovative idea for Greener World Energy is that customers who embrace the technology I just mentioned will be rewarded in a way that's currently not possible. I mentioned the ability to feed back into the grid by generating your own power, and we'll help customers do this by letting them know how to get a bidirectional meter. Like currently, like there are some customers who have bidirectional meters, but EPCOR doesn't allow these customers to feed back into the grid. But they because they don't have that technology. But with the new smart grid, it will be much easier. And what Greener World Energy can do is actually work with EPCOR and our customers to create a system where our customers can actually get paid for generating their own power. Even if customers don't generate enough power to feed the grid, we'll give them like significant savings for producing their own power. And we'll also make customers aware of tax incentives of using solar energy and help them claim these tax incentives. Like a lot of people fear this stuff just because it's difficult to do, but Greener World Energy will actually help customers do it. And like I see one of the biggest roles of Greener World Energy is as an educator, educating potential customers about many options they have beyond simply paying for burnt oil, and that customers have the power to make their own power. And so that's my presentation. I hope you liked it, and I look forward to seeing your presentations. Thank you.